to be on the Invincible.
That was lit. This man right here is a bad man.
We can do some damage on some churros down there.
Yeah!
All right, I am joined now by Matt Klein, the newest member of the Colorado Rockies. Matt, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Bring me to that moment, right? Where are you? Are you at home? Who's with you? When you get that call from Colorado that says, hey, we want to take you with the 167th pick.
Yeah, so I was sitting at home on the couch. I had my parents, my girlfriend, my sister, and a few of my high school buddies there with me. And so we were just sitting there. We knew I was supposed to go somewhere in like the 4 to 6 range. Obviously, the fourth round came and went. The fifth round was just about over, which was when my agent called me and said that the Rockies were going to take me at the beginning of the sixth. And so that was obviously a super exciting moment. And so I didn't tell anybody else when it was going to happen. They just knew it was coming up soon. And so it was definitely an exciting moment.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a surprise factor there. What was the reaction when you're sitting there night two watching your name on that screen? That's got to be kind of a euphoric feeling, right? You've worked your whole life for this moment.
Yeah, it was something you dream about for a long time, and seeing so many guys go for so many years in front of you, it was definitely everything you dreamed of. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, and you talked about those guys before. Louisville has 111 guys under the tenure of head coach Dan McDonnell to be drafted into the MLB. You had a couple from your class, 6 of them, right? Patrick on night one, and then 5 of you on night two. Encapsulate that for me, right? Louisville is becoming a spot for baseball players to go and chase that pro career.
Yeah, U of L is definitely still one of the few schools that takes pride in their player development, getting guys at a young age and developing them through the 3 years that they've got them. And so we were kind of one of the last groups that came before the big portal spurt. And so before the portal and for all the NIL stuff kind of blew up. And so showing that that's still a way that teams can have success is definitely a huge thing. And that's something that they want to build the program on.
Yeah, 5 cards in the MLB draft on night 2. You were the second guy taken off the board on that night. Getting drafted with all your teammates has to be a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's great to get congratulations from other people, but it's more empowering to give it out to other people that you've been working so hard alongside with.
And I want to talk about Tucker because he's another local guy from New Albany, right across the river. He came in with you. He's been in a Cardinal uniform the same 3 years that you have. He's headed to Washington to play with the Nationals. Talk to me about your relationship with Tucker and now getting picked in the same draft.
Yeah, definitely. So our relationship actually started the year before when we were in high school. We played summer ball together. And so that was a great moment for me to step up a little bit and be around some bigger guys. And he was definitely one of the biggest. He was a two-way guy at that point, and so he was still playing on both sides and was unbelievable. And so being around a guy like that was great to kind of interact with people like that. And so obviously seeing him grow in his development from two-way to being a pitcher to starting to throw a little different kind of sequences and different things like that was unbelievable to watch him grow and get better as the years went on.
From the local perspective, right now you join a class of Louisville, Kentuckiana guys that have made their way from high school programs to college and now to the pros. Joining that group, being able to represent Louisville on a national stage, that's got to be a cool feeling for you, especially growing up in the heart of Louisville and then choosing the school closest to home, right?
Yeah, it's definitely an empowering thing that will live on, something we'll remember forever. So,
And your dad, Scott, played at Louisville. You're a
mhm.
Cardinal legacy guy. You made your mark there. The stats are there to prove it. How proud are you now, looking back at what you were able to accomplish, I guess, in the reality of what was this childhood dream to play in the Cardinal uniform?
Yeah, I didn't get as far as I wanted to. I wanted to win a national championship for the Cardinals, but getting the team back on the right course after the way the first 2 years went is something that I'll have to settle for. And I'm definitely super proud of that. And hopefully I left the program in a place where they can win a national championship in the long run.
Taking a lot of red and black threads to Colorado. What's your relationship been like with the Rockies up to this point? And what are you excited about as you head out there on Friday?
Yeah, so it's been pretty slim to be honest with you. It wasn't a team that was super high on our radar. And they just ended up liking me at that point in time, and so they picked me up. And so it's really just gonna been a learning curve for the first little bit, introducing myself to a bunch of different people and kind of interacting with a new group.
Paint the picture for me here too. When you get drafted to the MLB, it's different than some leagues, right? The NFL, you go straight to training camp. The NBA, you go straight to summer league. What does the next steps on the field look like for you as you transition from college to professional baseball?
Yeah, it's definitely a little different because baseball's obviously in the middle of their season. They're in the All-Star break right now, and so we'll go down to where their spring training camp is, and kind of that's where they'll introduce us to a lot of the major league stuff. They'll kind of get us adapted a little bit better to the professional environment. And after a few weeks of that, then they'll send us off to one of their affiliates to begin playing and kind of get more into the minor league feeling to eventually get to the big leagues.
And I know a lot of rookies do their rookie season different than most. Is there a guy that you've connected with, a guy that you communicate with that's been on that level that maybe has given you good advice heading into year one?
Yeah, there's obviously a bunch of people that have gone before me at U of L, but there's also a bunch of different people that I've just met through the pipeline. Another local guy, Brandon Fott, who's come home a few times. I've talked to him a few times. Dalen has obviously been close, but there's always, you take bits and pieces from a lot of different people from a lot of different environments.
Looking at Colorado, have you explored the city at all online? What's the last thing you Googled about the state of Colorado? You'll be heading here soon.
Yeah, just more so kind of what are things that normal people do there? Because you hear about it and it's mostly like the tourist feel. It's like you go to the mountains, you do different things like that, but there's also got to be a normal life in Colorado theoretically. Like you can't always do the tourist things. And so what are some of the normal things? Like what do they eat? Different fast food and different kind of things like that, more cultural pieces than more tourist attractions.
Keeping it basic. I like it. Got to check the fast food box first, right?
Definitely.
Well, awesome. I know the city of Louisville is super excited to see where you go in your career and out to Colorado. I know we'll be tuned in. So, Matt, thanks so much for joining us today. Matt Klein headed to the Colorado Rockies after a very, very successful career in the Cardinal uniform. Matt, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.